first one I've done that kind of blew up for me was it was a place called Devil's Palace, and I snuck in. Everyone was struggling to get in, and they had a bit of a high level security on it, so I managed to get past it. Yeah, challenge. We went. Me and my mate got full on camo. We went to the army shop, got full on camo. That's how it was quite hard to get past them, and we went. Devil's Palace is owned by an old school gangster bloke, so that's why you had to be careful getting in there. So we managed to get in, got on the roof, got in the place, and I thought I'm gonna go live on my page, and it was more of a statement to like the community, say, oh, look where I am, and it blew up, and I just thought, I'm gonna keep doing lives, and I fell in love with live. No, I started on Facebook lives, and because it was COVID, no one was doing anything apart from just sat on the phone, so they were just going mental, and I kind of fell in love with just talking to the community and showing them, and like kind of giving, if I'm sneaking around like an abandoned hospital at 1 a.m. on my own, it's creepy, so I like giving that effect through the camera, so then like they feel creeped out as well.
Is it comforting to you that you've got like a couple of thousand people with you as well in case?
Oh yeah, I always go back to one. I was in an abandoned Airbnb that HS2 took over, and it was completely boarded, and the only way in was through a conservatory skylight, so I dropped in, and then you go down some stairs, back upstairs. I was right deep in it, and my signal went, and then I realised I was on my own. I was like, oh, I was like, please come back. And then when it come back, I felt like I was with people again. But when the signal goes, you realise you're on your own really quick.
Silent.
Yeah, silent, and then you start hearing all sorts. Like,
you run on Stitch and go, what's that behind you? On your
all the time. Yeah, all the time. It's like the go-to thing that people do. What's that behind you? And I'm like, I don't get it. It don't work anymore. But back in the day, it's like, yeah, it still plays on your head though. I don't know. I think that's where it started. I do think there's a few other trials from different avenues and stuff, because the online world is a crazy place, and once you give, there's certain people that you can see like that why some people don't talk to them, and I try to speak to everybody online, so when you say hello to someone and read the comments out online, and like 10, 20, 100,000 people see it, then they get a bit over the line then, and then they start, do you know what I mean? And then when you have to shut them down and say, look, stop being nasty, this is like, you know what I mean, be kind to everyone, then they turn into a hater because you've told, you know what I mean? So it's other avenues, but yeah, it's I think back to the elite one, I always say they might have been like sneaking into these places with the cameras and look cool till then, and then Mr Airborne come along and showed them it was easy. We used to do at Christmas time, I used to hand deliver merchandise to supporters like that had been on the page for a while, and doing that was such a humbling thing as well, because you think when you're looking at phone, it's just numbers, and you have comment, and you also naturally, everyone thinks, oh, what you like that for? I'd just do this, but that's because you're in a good place in life, or you're in a better place. Everyone's life's different, and when I used to do them trips, some of the people, the hands have been dealt, even I'd be like, are you even like, do you know what I mean? But like, it's hard for people out there, so yeah.
You feel that responsibility then, that you're kind of a light entertainer, you're a distraction to that life for people that are struggling. You feel like the pressure for that?
Yeah, I think you answered that before, didn't you?
Yeah, the massive pressure. I think a lot of people don't see behind the cameras that sometimes things can get to him. Like, he's only human at the end of the day, he's still got emotion like everybody else.
Our brother-in-law said that he thinks he's Trisha.
Because you watch a lot of podcasts, like, hey, stop doing that, you're not a chat show. Like,
yes. So that's the introduction.
Do you have a intro that you put on after? Or
no.
Welcome.
I'm walking through.
Would you like one? Would you like one on this?
Nah.
Look, slow-mo of that. Alright, so we'll do without an intro then.
Okay. That's the intro.
Sound.
Welcome. Thanks for coming. It's sweltering.
It is very hot, yeah.
So I was just explaining that we love to get people on who are chatting and riding back Brum, and there's no one quite as relevant as you at the moment.
Well, that sounds mad, doesn't it? Yeah, I love Birmingham, to be fair. I'm born and bred here, so shout about it as much as possible.
So for viewers that don't know, who have been living under a rock and off social media and stuff, you are Mr Airborne. Can you give us a bit of an intro?
Yeah. I got a couple. The best way to explain it is I sneak into places that you're not meant to, abandoned, hidden, derelict, and some just interesting places, and I tend to live stream it or YouTube it for the masses to see.
You're like my 14-year-old kind of hero. That's what I used to do round here, ironically enough. There's a school over the back, we used to jump in there.
Yeah, I do have quite a lot of younger lads watching that, and I always say just do not copy what I say, and especially don't copy the way I speak, because I swear a lot.
Yeah. And you have to like, don't try this at home kind of thing.
Yeah, trained professional.
Yeah. Where did it start?
COVID. Right at the beginning, I'm a pipe fitter welder by trade, and all the sites shut. There was nothing going on, and I just bought a brand new drone. I'm a bit of a geek with like cameras and drones, and I thought maybe I could make a company out of it and do drone photography, like stadiums, estates, stuff like that. I went and done one at an abandoned power station, the Five Sisters over in Wellingborough.
Yeah.
And I had my GoPro as well, so I was talking on it as well, and I edited it together, and I thought, oh, that's pretty cool. So I put it up, and I hashtagged abandoned in it, and loads of all these other places that come in where people were sneaking in, where before me exploring, it was never the sneaking inside, it was just the derelict side. And so I researched a few and thought, I want to do that, and I went there and just... The first one I'd done that kind of blew up for me was, it was a place called Devil's Palace. And I snuck in. Everyone was struggling to get in, and they had a bit of a high level security on it. So I managed to get past it.
Challenge.
We went. Me and my mate got full on camo. We went to the army shop, got full on camo. That's how it was quite hard to get past them. And we went. Devil's Palace is owned by an old school gangster bloke, so that's why you had to be careful getting in there. So we managed to get in, got on the roof, got in the place, and I thought I'm going to go live on my page, and just, it was more of a statement to like the community and say, oh look where I am, and it blew up, and I just thought, I'm going to keep doing lives, and I fell in love with
TikTok live or?
No, I started on Facebook lives, and because it was COVID, no one was doing anything apart from just sat on the phone, so they were just going mental, and I kind of fell in love with just talking to the community and showing them, and like kind of giving, if I'm sneaking around like an abandoned hospital at 1 a.m. on my own, it's creepy. So I like giving that effect through the camera, so then like they feel creeped out as well.
Is it comforting to you that you've got like a couple of thousand people with you as well? In case?
Oh yeah, I always go back to one. I was in an abandoned Airbnb that HS2 took over, and it was completely boarded, and the only way in was through a conservatory skylight. So I dropped in, and then you go down some stairs, back upstairs. I was right deep in it, and my signal went. And then I realised I was on my own. I was like, oh, fuck. I was like, please come back, please come back. And then when it come back, I felt like I was with people again. But when the signal goes, you realise you're on your own real quick.
Silent.
Yeah, silent. And then you start hearing all sorts. Like,
you're running on Stitcher and go, what's that behind you? On your
all the time. Yeah, all the time. It's like the go-to thing that people do. Like, what's that behind you? And I'm like, I don't get it. It don't work anymore. But back in the day, it's like, yeah. It still plays on your head though. But it's humans that you got to worry about. Yeah, that orb and dust thing, it's a big argument all the time.
Mm. Yeah, because I've seen you said you have spent time. Did you spend time in a morgue overnight for Halloween?
Yeah, that was last year's Halloween special, wasn't it? I think.
No, last year you did.
I did the Blair Witch, did the English Blair Witch. The year before. So I had a lot of people that were. Like, I'm very sceptical of the paranormal. I think I have to be, because if I believed in it, I wouldn't do what I do.
Yeah.
I'd be too scared to do it.
Yeah.
So I'm very sceptical. I debunk everything, and they were going, nah, it's real. And I'm like, okay, what is the most thing that I could do to prove to you guys if it is or isn't? Either way, I'll test it. And people going, oh, I'll go in an asylum overnight, but I'd done that the year before. And then I thought, right, I'm going to an abandoned morgue, I'm going to climb in and I'll live stream me just sat in this morgue all night on Halloween and see if anything happens. And
did you have any inclination to have someone in and knock something, do the old most haunted strings?
Well, I got bored after about 4 hours, because I thought, how am I going to keep this live? Because I live streamed it. I thought, how am I going to keep this interesting? I was getting bored, and I think I'm just sat on a body slab, like just sat there with the fridge behind me, and I thought, it's going to run out of excitement. So I messaged my mates that do it as well, and I was like, listen, have you got any masks? And he was like, yeah, why? And I was like, they weren't that far from me. I was like, sneak in and just stand at the door with your mask on in the background, and then like, so they done it, and I knocked the camera over as everyone's going, who's that behind you? And I knocked the camera over and ended the live. And then that was it. I didn't go back live. I just left it like that. And then I went home because I was knackered.
Worked out quite nice and
pack up and do one.
Brilliant.
Just saying before about this whole community, and you only found this community when you actually started doing the exploring and the abandoned sites. Have you found any kind of gatekeeping, or is the community was it very welcoming, or have you took a lot of publicity, took it mainstream, and become a problem for people?
Yeah, so the Urbex community that they call themselves is just a massive gatekeeper. That's what it is. They hate on anybody else doing what they do. They have like their close net things that they'll share out to like a couple of each. But I find it weird because they all share, like say they get a good location or whatever, and one will go in, and then he'll draw a map. And then be like, this is exactly how I got in, exactly how I got past security, and then they'll all go and take the exact same photo and stuff. But that's how gay kept it is.
Yeah.
So obviously I come along, live streamed it, and they didn't like me. They still don't like me. But
I assume that there's probably a lot of people who run these derelicts, who are in charge of derelict, maybe security and stuff, who have actually subscribed to you, that are keeping a look at if you. So obviously the story we just spoke off camera with Baz. I'm Mr Airborne.
I have a lot of security on, to be fair. I have some security. We was talking to one the other week, my mate from Ireland, and he was like, just to let you know, the security's getting pulled next week on that place you had done, and it's a massive place. And like they'll give us, some of them are like that, but then some of them are like, when I catch you, I'm going to do this. Like, they never do, obviously. But like the one on there, on the blues ground, like I think the last time I come here I snuck on the roof, and I forgot until we walked in on it, and the security guy's like, "You alright, Mr Airborne?" I was like, "Oh shit, I don't even know if I'm allowed in here." I was like, "I've been invited."
Yeah, I just spoke to him on the way down, and I come into the car, and he went, "It's nice of him to use the front door this time."
I did say, I said he's probably the only kind that make you nervous.
Really?
Security, yeah.
He's cool though, Baz. Yeah, he's a really good guy.
Most of the time they are sound though.
Yeah.
So you're saying obviously the community, they share locations and stuff like that. So how do you pick yours? Because one minute you're in an abandoned millionaire's house, the next minute it's Oasis in Swindon. Like how do you weigh up and how do you choose your locations?
Honestly, I have a few go-tos. Like I love abandoned hospitals and asylums. They're like my number one because I'm obsessed with The Walking Dead and Apocalypse World Zombies. Like, and that's the feeling I get when I'm in them. But if I hear there's a huge place and it's got security on it, then I'm like, right, I'll go test it. I love it. I love the sneaking around. I don't like knowing how to get in or any of that. I just love getting there and going, right, let's figure it out.
That was the next question, is that we literally do, just like, okay, let's get there, and obviously a bit of research around, but just like, okay, let's get there. And
like a lot of people say to me, like, because there's people out there that do like, they'll research the hell out of like an abandoned house, and they'll do the history and all that, where I don't do that as much because I like just getting there and figuring it out. Like, so I get the question all the time, like, what's the history on this? I'm like, I have absolutely zero idea, I don't know. Just used to be an asylum and mad stuff used to go on.
Yeah, if you ever find like a coffin and it's all like really old writing and stuff, and it's like, do not open, then just don't open it.
It's getting
open. Like the apocalypse.
The only thing I do not open is fridges, because they absolutely stink. Like,
regardless,
yeah. Like if you go to a time capsule and it's been abandoned for 30 years, you open that fridge and it's the worst smell I've ever had. Body freeze, you know the big body freezers, the ones that you always see in serial killer films.
Yeah.
You have to open them. You've got to have a look.
What's the has anything ever happened or you have found anything you go, whoa? No bodies. Found dead animals, don't you? No.
I found people sleeping. I found animals dead and stuff, but I found like homeless people and that, and got like lucky enough, and hopefully it never happens. I've never found someone that's already passed, but like it is always a chance. People say, "What would you do? What would you do?" And I think you'd like to think you'd have to check. You'd check in it because they might still be alive or anything, but. It's that
you lean over and go, oh!
Yeah.
She's just a sleeping homeless person.
Yeah, that's happened to me, yeah.
Really?
And I'm like, are you alright? And he's like, yeah, just fuck off.
Going back to
being
cynical. Yeah, going back to being cynical about ghosts and stuff though, I suppose you're still a bit like, in case there's anyone just there that's a bit naughty, a bit kind of vagabond.
Yeah, I think like ghosts and that, like I say, I'm sceptical about it, so that's not ever, it's on, like it's there because you hear things all the time, but humans are the worst people to find because they're the ones that could cause harm and stuff. Like I hate coming, I like going to these places to be in the solitude of the abandoned world and feel like that. So when I bump into other humans, even if they're just other explorers, I'm like, oh.
I was going to say, has that ever happened where you thought you were in somewhere, no one's ever been in here, and then you turn around and Barry from...
with another live stream in my face, like, fuck. Fucking live streamers.
Snowdonia, and it I'm going to go up there, it's going to be amazing, and send the pictures of queue of people.
Yeah.
I've seen the EastEnders one. What was that like?
Oh, that was awesome.
Was that the one where you were like, oh, this is...
Yeah, like I'm in a place
happy.
that I shouldn't be. Like, but because obviously everyone grows up watching EastEnders, the parents watch it. I grew up the whole thing, and when I walked into the Queen Vic and realised it wasn't real, like there was no, but there was like a little section of bar, but I was like, I need to follow the Queen Vic. Like, I felt like that was a pinnacle of.
Did you guys know that the fascia of the Queen Vic is just the fascia?
Yeah.
When you walk in, the studio's not even in there.
Yeah.
I
The
didn't
exterior
know
is
that.
it. So yeah,
it's not even got 3D set. It's not.
It is kind of. So you open the doors as you walk through the Queen Vic, and there's probably a bar, the width where you two are sat, like just right in the corner, just for shots. You know, when they're filming, people walk in.
Yeah.
But then the actual bar's in the studio next door.
Yeah. So all the exterior will be the exterior, so if you're wandering around out on the square and stuff, and then it's all just boxed off as different bits of studios.
The other thing I learned about EastEnders as well is, you know, the square and stuff, it looks big. Like sometimes they'll have marquees set up, it's tiny. It's so, like, it's a lot smaller than it looks on camera. And I hid a load of stickers on there as well. Yeah, they tried to do me that, didn't they? They tried to, so they said they found the stickers after they'd shot a couple of episodes. And then they were like, so we had to get the camera crew in, the actors back in, and everything to redo the shots. And I thought, yeah, so they were trying to sue me.
How big were the stickers?
Not that big, yeah. But I put, one was on the back of the till in the shop. One was on the phone box, and one was on the blue, you know, the market. It was on the market opening sign.
That's quite funny, isn't it, to think that Adam Woodyard, or one of these really high-profile actors, got the call and has been pulled back in.
Yeah.
You got a sticker, and you got to come back in and film
Mr Airborne, yeah.
You know for a fact they all got a brief and that had snuck in, and there was all like, can we see the video?
Ian Baird and Sharon absolutely fuming.
Do you know, it was surprisingly easy to get in as well at the time, because they have around because it's like they got the square, but around it they have like a walkway like this, so they have a fence there, and then a walkway with all the facilities, the cables and all that, and then another metal fence here, and then cameras all the way along it, but they didn't camera above it. So what I've done is I climbed up one fence and then climbed up the camera pole and went over the camera system and got in. But they can't do that now, so nobody try and copy that.
Yeah.
They've changed that now.
So we've
football
changed
cameras.
that. Yeah. What's the have you been in trouble before?
I've never got a criminal record. I've been locked up.
Surprising it might be done, isn't it? That they
Spain,
they have
Germany,
tried.
Italy.
Have they got trespass? What is it? Trespass?
Yeah, it's just civil trespass, yeah. I mean, there's a few areas that they've tried to ban me from, like Lincolnshire, Coventry are currently really angry.
Areas?
Yeah, like Lincolnshire, remember that letter?
Was that the RAF side? Is that where the...
No, that was Scanton. Oh, that was a whole different... Yeah, that got dropped eventually, but yeah, I thought I'd fought to that one.
Yeah.
But Lincolnshire sent me a letter, and they was like, what did he say? You are no longer welcome in abandoned places.
Coventry?
No, Coventry was what they're doing now. Lincolnshire
did that too, though.
They sent me like an unofficial letter saying
You'd
you're
be
no
like
longer
strapped
welcome.
down into one area where you're not allowed to just,
It's quite specific, isn't it? You're not welcoming abandoned areas in Lincolnshire.
Yeah, abandoned places in Lincolnshire.
So you're still welcoming shops, cafes.
Yeah.
Surely not welcoming any abandoned places anywhere.
Anywhere, yeah.
So
that's what I mean. It weren't worth the paper it was written. I went back the week after, but I do a thing where like I've got a twin brother called Mr B. Obviously I'm Mr A, and so the areas I'm not allowed in, my brother doesn't do.
Brilliant.
That's what people think it is.
Wink, wink.
Yeah.
Oh, this security guard. Let's get the rest
Just like
scrambled, mustn't
yeah.
it? It's my twin, or is it? Oh.
Well, we had a security guard with it. We went into Asylum, and I was with my mate Rob, who was doing my camera work, and he got caught And then he got out and I was still in. I was like, we've still got loads to shoot here. And he had all the cameras. I just had a GoPro. And he was like, I'll sneak back in. So he snuck back in and he got caught again. And then the security guard in the end, I managed to get the camera off him and I'd done everything. And on the way out, he was like, I've caught you, mate, twice. And I was like, twice? I says, what do you mean? He was like, he come back in. I says, are you sure you didn't get the twins? I says, there's 2 of them. I says, I don't know where the other one's gone. I says, I know you caught one. I says, you sure you didn't get the other brother? And he was like, are they twins? I says, yeah, identical twins. And he's like, I've caught them both then. I was like, oh, no way. And then we went outside and there was just one of them there.
Absolutely scrabbling their heads.
Yeah, baffled him.
Have you ever had that? Have you ever took people and they're not as good as it as you are, so they've been caught like that, and you're like, for God's sake, and it's kind of threw out one of your...
Really unfit guy at the back. He's like, come on, man!
Well, that used to be me. It still is. But yeah, I'm very... someone actually asked me this on a live yesterday. I get asked, like, can I join you and stuff, but I tend not to now because there's like, one, I ain't paying someone else's fines as well when we get caught. 2, if they get arrested, like I don't want people getting arrested. But like 3, you don't know what they're going to be like you say, like sometimes you've got to be quick and like we'll drive to Germany or something and then before you've even got in they fucked it up because they've just tried to walk through a gate and like, so you got to know the kind of people you're going with to hit the better places. I do tend to stay away. Like you lads can come in front.
Yeah.
You're covering your own fines.
I'm doing a podcast in some asylums somewhere.
Yeah, there's a good one actually. We could do that. I've done a 360 video of it in Wales. So like like online you can watch it through the VR.
Class.
And at the end we're getting chased by the security dog on the VR. Like I still had the camera running and I managed to get it.
Why?
Yeah.
What, the dog's off the leash just...
Yeah, you hear the dog bark and you hear the van open. So we start to run, and then you hear the dog bark again inside the place as well. Like the corridors are massive in asylums; they're just like straight length.
Yeah, you know, I'm alright, I think. Alright.
Yeah,
Busy that day.
Yeah, I might have to do some training first.
So tell us about the charity work.
So we are. We try to do and use the social media once a year to do like a big charity event. And this year it's next Monday, which I think by the time this is out we'll already be hopefully halfway home or thereabout. But we are pedalling from Luxembourg through 6 countries all the way back to Birmingham Children's Hospital. 1,000 kilometres it's going to be on mountain bikes.
What? Mountain bikes?
Just gel.
Yeah.
You got plenty of gel.
Got gel seats, gel shorts, gel Sudocrem, jelly shots.
Cover yourself in gel.
Vodka jelly shots, whatever gets me through it.
Yeah, everyone tries to grab you, they've got no chance have they? Like a Darwin trial.
Like Bronson.
How's the training been for that then? So take us through your regime. I know you said you're going after this, aren't you?
Yeah, it's been good actually. I've done a lot more than last year. Last year I kind of lied and told everyone I was training and I didn't because I thought it'd be easy. And I learned fast.
How far did you do last year?
We done Paris to Birmingham on KMX carts. So,
about 600 kilometres.
Yeah, about 600 kilometres. But that was. Do you know what a KMX cart is? If you sit on
No.
They're like you have 2 wheels at the front and 1 at the back, and you're kind of in a sit-down position with your legs in front.
I see them. Yeah.
And they were falling apart and everything. But yeah, I found out real quick that training was definitely needed for that.
Yeah.
But
cycling diet as well. Have you had to change your diet for the training?
Yeah, which is a good
Constantly
thing.
eating that.
Yeah, no, not even that. Like I snack because I'm out on the road all the time. I'm a serial snacker, so I've needed something like this to come up to sort my diet out. But now I'm like salads and like pure meats and stuff.
Proteins.
I'm doing alright, yeah. And I've got a sponsor on board that's giving me all the supplements as well.
Brilliant.
So it's helping out. And then just basically tying on the seat, on the saddle, which is hurting already.
The thought of it.
Yeah,
as well.
them seats on them push bar. I don't know who invented them right, but they're just not comfortable.
I think it would have made like a W, wouldn't you? Just sits everything in.
Yeah.
Cups, yeah.
Yeah, just cups, yeah, make sure they're comfortable. These
Not in
ones
the
are
middle.
Yeah.
trying to insert, yeah, they're horrible.
Yeah, they're trying to empty you for days and then constantly through Europe.
How's the sponsorship going? So obviously you run it through your channels and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You seem well liked. It's not like a... Do you get... Just digressing slightly, and we talked about it off. Do you get lots of trolls and stuff and people who are trying to... you seem like really quite liked and it's kind of like edgy and...
I think it's that whole thing, and it's like 99% of people will love what you do, but that 1% are always loud. They're louder than everyone else. So I do get a lot of trolls. That the best thing to do is just ignore them, but it's hard sometimes. And then you respond, and then you think, oh fuck, I shouldn't have. But yeah, the love that we're getting, especially for this trip as well, like it's overwhelming at the moment. Like in all fairness, the trolls have been kind of quiet for the last couple of weeks.
It's not an awful lot you can say about raising money for a children's charity.
You think, but the last one, they phoned BRMB and got us cancelled at first. They phoned Birmingham Children's Hospital, they got the GoFundMe put on hold.
Who's that?
I don't know. Well, yeah.
Wow, yeah.
Just troll. We don't
You
know.
don't know
Just
officially.
trolls,
Why?
yeah. Don't know officially, yeah.
Yeah,
like,
they did everything they possibly could to ruin it last year, so I think they'd be silly to try again this year because they didn't get anywhere last year.
That's very it's very intense trolling though, isn't it? Actually picking up the phone and talking. So it's mostly keyboard warriors and just.
Well, we got voice notes of them on the phone calls and what they're saying.
A lot was phone calls last year more than just keyboard. They were actually phoning companies. Yeah.
It's mad. Like, and this is the length they go to troll me. Is I'll have like they watch every live I do. They phone the police on every live I do. So the police are now aware of it. Like, right, they've been aware of it. They've been doing it for about a year solid. But now the police turn up and they're like, "What's going on, Airborne? We got a phone call saying you're gonna jump off here or you're gonna set this on fire." But they already know me, and I'm like, "Nah, you know the crack of what I'm doing." They're like, "Nah, we love it." Like, police follow me now as well.
Yeah.
But I have a WhatsApp channel that is purely just to help people get notifications. They've even joined my WhatsApp channel, and just so they can get the notifications, they put like the thumbs up, like the fingers up emoji on everything I post and stuff. Like, it's proper sad stuff. But
is it rival Urbex people?
It's back to that.
Yeah,
I call them the elites, they're not the original. Like, it's
yeah.
them kind of people, and it's also.
Is it like the magic circle, and you're exposing?
Yeah, so like a lot of Penn and Teller, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah,
so they don't like it because you're popular doing it.
Popular doing it, yeah, and like I think that's where it started. I do think there's a few other trolls from different avenues and stuff, because the online world is a crazy place, and once you there's certain people that you can see, like while some people don't talk to them, and when I try to speak to everybody online, so when you say hello to someone and read the comments out online, and 10, 20, 100,000 people see it, then they get a bit over the line then, and then they start, do you know what I mean? And then when you have to shut them down and say, "Look, stop being nasty, this is like," you know what I mean, be kind to everyone, then they turn into a hater because you've told, you know what I mean? So it's other avenues, but yeah, it's I think back to the elite one, I always say they might have been like sneaking into these places with the cameras and look cool to the nan, and then Mr Airborne come along and showed them it was easy.
Mate, look, absolutely glad. Yeah.
Yeah, they're like, "Oh, he's better, look."
What equipment you use? Just out of interest.
Equipment.
Yeah.
So I've moved away from the GoPro at the moment. I use DJI Actions. They're really good cameras. I have to have internet boosters, and
I was going to say that signal thing might be a problem in our end of Wales or whatever, might it?
Yeah, Wales is terrible for signal at the moment. Well, Europe is UK is terrible. Europe.
I can't believe you got it here.
I know. I didn't live stream this. No, I would have got caught before I got off. So that was a pre-record. That's the only way I got away with it.
Yeah.
But yeah, like DJI is a very good company to use at the moment. The microphones, the gimbals. I think you've even got one in there, and they're just good equipment and they're solid. But if DJI are listening, I could do a sponsor because I break everything. We've tagged the shit out on the loads.
Big shout out to today's podcast sponsors, PD Locks, and how apt that he's a locksmith. Jason covers the Midlands and the surrounding areas. There's no call-out fee, 24-hour service, no obligation quotes. He does a free security survey. He can do lock upgrades. If you find yourself locked out, or you've snapped your keys, or you've got a faulty lock, he will pop out, repair, or replace. Deals with commercial or residential. All the links are in the bio. So if you have any needs, give him a shout. Enjoy the show.
But like
every single sponsorship we had on board last year, when we were putting posts up to thank when they were phoning the sponsorships, you're sponsoring a wanted criminal, you're sponsoring a non.
It's got to be, it's got to be something that's affecting their pocket or their popularity, because trolls are just like you say on Insta or whatever.
I think you underestimate internet weirdos.
They just get fixated. Like, have you seen Baby Reindeer yet on Netflix?
Yeah.
We have a real life Martha. She knows our address, everything. Not our new one, but she knew our old one. She knows my
she'll be a bit charity at the end.
Yeah.
And she looks like her as well.
She brings us gifts everywhere we do our pop up for food. She turns up with gifts for us and stuff. She's like, they just get fixated, don't they? They've got nothing better to do, some of them.
Bit of good crack though. If you find out who this particular person was, PI or something, probably investigate. Then done one of your breaking things to their house.
Yeah.
Hey!
Well, that's what I would do. Like, I have found a few of them in the past, and like I've said, like I've just said, like this is this. Now I know. You know I now know. Like, so you're not just hidden behind a thing, and then they stop instantly because they're like, and then they'll turn around and go, oh, sorry, I've been a bit of a twat. Like, I had one, was it about 2 months ago, and he done a bit of trolling back in the day, got banned and all that, and then he messaged me, he was like, I'm so sorry the way I was going through. And it is a mental thing, like, do you know what I mean? And I do advocate for mental health and stuff for everyone.
So, to be fair, I was going to go on to that.
It's careful, like, I try not to hammer them too much because there is something wrong with them, like, it's not like they're just born to be dickheads, like, in the way they go.
There's got to be something wrong with them, if you fixate on someone for no apparent reason, you don't make
jealousy
sense.
is a powerful emotion, though, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, very.
But you get it with people, there's a lot of people out there that are on the internet that should never have got the audience, the kids at school, the weird kids at school that should, before the internet, would have gone and done whatever they'd have worked in a post room somewhere, so they kept themselves for life. Yeah. But now they've got the internet where they all join together, don't they?
Yeah.
Reddit, subreddits, Telegram and all that.
Well, this is the thing with you though, like it's not one person, we're very confident it's a group. It's a group of people and they're all informing back, because there's no way one person every time he goes live knows where he is, because all these buildings are all over the world.
There's got to be some work.
It's got to be a group of people, And obviously
the work is, they do more work than me, like to run my pages. It's mad.
And what they do say is all publicity is good publicity.
Yeah.
So
there is a line. There's a line, but like this is how I use it as well. There once someone spray painted bigger than this wall, like 3 times the size of that wall, in an abandoned leisure centre down London, and it said, "Mr Airborne is a cunt." Right. So someone photoed it and was like, "This is in this building." So I was like, okay, I didn't say anything. And then I went down and I went live and I put in search of the Banksy. And I was exploring this thing, snuck in, exploring it. And I said, no way, I found the Banksy. And I turned it around and said that. So then everyone was like, what fucking horrible cunt, rare. So they missed out the dot on the eye. So I used one of my Airborne stickers to put the dot on. And then I was like, everyone was like laughing. And I turned it into merchandise. And now you can buy t-shirts and hoodies that say, I'm a cunt Airborne style. And I sold hundreds and hundreds of them. Wow. And I was like, and then I let everyone know. I says, I've made a fortune off the troll doing that. I was like, nice one.
Yeah.
And he's in the eyes somewhere.
Definitely.
Hitting himself in the head. Yeah. Let's. Can we briefly talk about your other ventures then? So we briefly talk about them. So this has spawned, and that has spawned. Obviously, played into your clothing and stuff. Tell us about how it's kind of just gone exponential.
Yeah, like the Airborne brand as a whole, it's crazy for us to even fathom how so we've got, obviously I'm Mr Airborne myself and I do all my merchandise. I've got my own sweets range, so like they did really well as well. But then off that we started street food, American street food vendors called Airbornes. So then now that's doing really well, and then now Abs works for herself doing that, and she started the Life of Mrs Airborne as well, doing social media. So to go from I always 4.5 years ago doing that power plant with the drone to now, like a mini airborne empire, it's crazy what it can. But the online world, it can, anything you can imagine you want to do. Manifestation on the online world is true. Like if you want to do it, put the hard work in and you can do it. So it's
a good message. That's a recurring, because obviously at the heart of it, it's a business podcast. That seems to be the resounding message, doesn't it? Like so we have Rude J on, the ex-footballers we've had on. Everything is always put the work in, and you'll gain the rewards.
You will, 1,000,000%. Like
You can have a little bit of luck, can't you? You can have a video that
goes
goes
to the right place and all that kind of stuff, but
But the hard work goes into putting yourself in that place in the first place. Like, I say to like Jamie, my mate from Ireland, he's like on it as well, and he's building his, and I say to him, sometimes, you know, when you can't be bothered to get up and you think, do you know, it's not even that much of a good place, I can't bother to film that. They're the ones you need to go and film, because that could be the one that blows you up. I says, and it only takes one. So if you're getting up and doing every single one, you're gonna hit that one. Where if you're missing 50 out of the 100, it could have been one in 50 that was gonna blow you up. So consistency and hard work, you will get to where you want to get to eventually.
And then building on that then to what direction you want to
branch it off to it. Yeah.
Are you gonna have like a kind of follow off with Mrs Airborne? Because I can see there's a character now who's getting tons and tons.
Mr Airborne gets more than me now. She does she started with doing the behind the scenes stuff and showing all the stupid shit I do at home.
There's a big category online of people that love him outside of what he's doing. So they love to see him being a family man, they love to see him in his relationship, they love to see him just being an absolute idiot sometimes. So my page was sort of created for behind the scenes, and it's just gone from there.
Yeah. Plus she does maybe monthly or whatever, she'll do a post about dealing with all my fines and the councils and the police. And
the business beyond.
The business, the part keeping me out of the bars.
So quickly, we touched on mental health there as well, didn't we? And there was a fair bit of publicity a couple of years ago, weren't there, when you hung your mental health banner at Selfridges in Birmingham. Did you ever get that back?
No. Technically, the Bullring committed a crime there because they damaged the banner. And I only know that because the Birmingham Mail told me.
But you're let off.
Bygones be bygones. Yeah. We've both done things we shouldn't.
Call it quits.
We'll call it quits. But there was a campaign to try and get that back because so technically, when I put these banners up, although I am trespassing, which is only civil, it's still my property. So when I left it there, they should have then handed it back to me. Like, I'd left my phone there, but it's what it is. But it was a good. It got the message out, and it done what it was intended to do. Like, I think that was
21, wasn't it? Was it 21?
21. That was the very first one. That was my first idea. Then obviously I hung one off this stadium that we're sat in now. That was the second one.
That was quite an important message at that time as well, because before the new owners, mental health did matter down here. It was yeah, because we were having to watch the worst football.
Oh, okay, yeah. Well, yeah. I'm from a Blues family, so
yeah. So why mental health?
Because that's kind of why I used to go to these abandoned places as well, just as solitude. It gave me my alone time, and it helped me. Like, you know, everyone in their life, unless you get very lucky, will go through a down part where your brain turns against you, you think the world hates you, and it will spiral to a point where you feel like you're that alone. But I felt like, because I'd been there, and then you can kind of spiral up as well. It sounds anything that spirals bad can also spiral the other way and spiral good. And when I come out, I thought we'll use the platform a bit. There was a couple of reasons why we got into the hashtag Let's Talk and started doing it on social media. Other than what I'd been through, was because when I was out exploring, 2 separate occasions I found people trying to jump off bridges, and I thought that the hashtag Let's Talk thing started from me putting plaques on bridges, because I know as well as most, it takes 1 second to get you out of that thought process. When you think the world's against you and this is what I have to do because I can't go any other direction, and you're still on a bridge, if you're distracted for 1, 2, 3 seconds, that could save your life and stop you. It's a game changer, yeah. So we started putting the hashtag Let's Talk banners on with a bit of a write-up, so then they might see it while they stood on these bridges, and then hopefully change their mind or just go for a walk, or do you know what I mean? Just whatever to get them off the bridge. Do you know what I mean? Breathe, yeah.
But you actually came across people at that time?
Yeah, the first one was a very young lad as well. He was still in. He was something to do with his GCSEs, and he felt like his family wasn't happy with him, and he was a disappointment. It was a sad thing. What was it with? Was it with you or Richard? I was with Richard.
I wasn't with you, but the first time I was, the first time we found someone, I was there.
That was, so he was 17 and he felt like it was a disappointment and everything. So obviously a guy talked to him, going round, well, my mate phoned the police, and then once, obviously they're professionals, like I'm not a professional, like, and it's quite a scary thing to be in as well, because you think, what the fuck do you say, like, I'm not going to say the wrong thing, and that's what's playing, but just being a human and just listening as well, like, they just want to vent, like, to a random at that, you know, they might have, pride goes out the window if, like, you're talking to a complete random that you know you're never going to see again, so you'll say the truths, and, you know, you might cry or whatever. And then the police turned up and helped him. And then obviously it was literally, this was all in COVID. It was
just a tough time anyway for everyone.
It was very tough, yeah. You just seen people struggling left, right and centre. And it was about 6 weeks later that we found it was a woman, and she was mid-30s. And again, she was just struggling with it all. And that's when I was with you, wasn't it? And just to see, like, you know, the community going through that, when that's what I thought, right, that it was after that woman, I thought, right, we need to start doing something, and we started putting the plaques on the bridges, and then I just kind of ran with it, and I thought, you know what, because I got the online presence, let's push just people talking to each other. My lives are already doing it, and everyone's talking to each other, building communities, people have, you know, formed relationships with each other and stuff for it, and I thought let's try and push that so everyone knows there's spaces, places people can go and talk to each other, and just, it's not the end of it when you, or the end of everything when you think, oh, you know, my friends don't want to talk to me and stuff, to just go out and figure it out and talk to someone else.
It's quite profound, isn't it, that it became something bigger than you, something you were just doing for yourself, all of a sudden becomes something a whole community
use your voice for.
Really like the hashtag Let's Talk thing was already a thing, it's already a mental health, I just kind of jumped on to help push it. But we used to do at Christmas time, I used to hand deliver merchandise to supporters like that had been on the page for a while, and doing that was such a humbling thing as well, because you think when you're looking at phone, it's just numbers and you had comment, and you also naturally, everyone thinks, oh, what you like that for? I'd just do this, but that's because you're in a good place in life, or you're in a better place. Everyone's life's different, and when I used to do them trips, some of the people, the hands have been dealt, even I'd be like, fuck, how are you even, like, do you know what I mean? But like, it's hard for people out there, so yeah.
You feel that responsibility then, that you're kind of a light entertainer, you're a distraction to that life for people that are struggling. You feel like the pressure for that?
Yeah, I think you answered that before, didn't you?
Yeah, the massive pressure. I think a lot of people don't see behind the cameras that sometimes things can get to him. Like, he's only human at the end of the day. He's still got emotion like everybody else, but I did do one of the merch drops with him, and it opened my eyes up as well. It does really humble you when you see, you just be grateful for what you have, because people have a lot less. But yeah, it's massive pressure, and you know, there's days where we've got things going on as a family, and he's like, say, look, I've got to go out, I've got to go film, and there's people out there watching me. Like, he does an Airborne Sunday that's become a very, very popular thing. Everybody knows Sundays are Airborne Sundays, and if you don't go out that one day,
so at least everyone knows they've got something on a Sunday they can come and chat. So.
But then you think about Christmas Day, and days like that, when really as a family you spend it, but then Mr Airborne stuff, I need to go and do a live, there's people out the Christmas Day on their own, so you know, it's a lot of pressure.
It is, it's
That's a big one, isn't it?
And that you don't never expect when you just start doing a video exploring an abandoned power plant, but I mean, you just adjust it, and if everyone's
if you're the only person that person's going to see, particularly on a Sunday, and you don't, you might think.
Exactly, yeah. So,
that's big, that is. That's deep, isn't it?
Mad, yeah, it's deep, yeah.
So what's the future hold? Where do you see? Where do you get that Mr Beast money? When do you get on that?
Probably the day I get released from prison and go live. I don't know. I mean, we keep chipping away at our little empire, but I want to show the world. I want to just keep expanding. I am moving more to YouTube now to give the better quality of stuff.
Is there a need for that, is that? To go to YouTube for the quality of stuff? TikTok,
yeah, so
Facebook not cool anymore, or...
No, I mean the quality of footage and stuff, like...
instead of it all being compressed and...
Yeah, like especially lives, it's grinding down to signal, stuff like that. So I'm moving to YouTube where I can go live through my cameras, which then gives a 4K view and stuff, unlike the phone where you can...
Got the Google glasses, yeah?
They arrive tomorrow.
Get them.
Yeah, the metal ones, I can't wait, I'm well excited.
How's that? That feels good.
How much was it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I might have to just...
So she deals with everything.
I don't know.
How many times in this have you just seen him turn up?
Yeah. It's not when I do weddings. It's not wedding consultations. I go, so what's the time to this? And I go, since the gaffer.
Yes.
Walking diary, I am. Yeah.
So without giving too much away, what's some of the plans where you want to go and what you want to do? Obviously, you don't want to give us locations and coordinates, but
So
what's on the bucket
Here's
list?
the trolley, I'll be phoning the police.
Yeah.
I'll be
I'll be following. I'll be like, yeah, come on, let's do this.
I mean, having them help the views, don't they? So.
Yeah, exactly.
But I mean, we've got quite a few ideas on my way. When we get back from, like, all our energy's going on this trip at the moment. That starts. But when I get back from there, we're going to Italy. This is going to go out before it, so I can't really...
Yeah.
I know it's going to be pre-recorded, so it don't matter. That's the joys of YouTube and not doing
Right,
it.
yeah.
So we're going to Italy because there's a massive... what did you call them? Like yacht, not a yacht, cruise liner. And it's abandoned, it's docked up, but it's starting to slightly sink at the back. So some of the rooms are slightly underwater, and then the rest is still there, but it's been there for years, and it's like a ghost ship. But you have
that diarrhea ship is a cruise line from Netflix. You want to be careful.
Oh, is that the one where they all disappear and die? Is it no?
No, they all got like dysentery and it's like a big environmental health thing.
Oh,
it's like a Netflix documentary.
Oh, we hope not. Jamie, he's going to hate me for saying this, but he gets shit every day anyway.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's trying to figure out in his diet, but every day he's like...
What's that, like the adrenaline thing from...
I think he's allergic to pizza, to be honest. I think we're starting to narrow it down. But last time we went away, we had pizza twice, and he had the shit for like 4 days. That's Jamie Rob too, if anyone's listening.
It's the security yard now. It's like Hansel and Gretel, just like against the trail.
Yeah, I'm not catching it.
Yeah, that's definitely
Yeah. Looks like it's a dog. It's fine. But yeah, we're going to sneak onto that cruise liner. But you have to get... So we're flying out to Italy, and then we've got to go and buy... Well, we're doing a funny thing, but then we've got to get something to get from there to the ship, and then we might spend the night on the ship. That's our next big one. And we've got a few other ones to hit while we're there, which are...
Not the Vatican.
No, definitely not.
That's all. Is there any that in the community everyone's like, that would be the one, but it's impossible? So I imagine you can't really mess around in over the UAE and that way as well. Not there's any
I was there the other week because I do a around the world trip where the followers get to vote every country I go to, and ended up in the UAE.
Yeah, I saw that. When you said, "Oh, there's my part, 15 floors up," I thought you were going to go, "Right, I'm off."
Yeah, yeah, just got to come for the window.
Yeah, just to get freshened up.
But yeah, there's one I've wanted to do. It's in a place called Kazakhstan, and it's an old Soviet. You know, obviously the Americans and that had the shuttle program.
Yeah.
The Soviets had it as well, literally identical. And in the hangar is 2 Soviet shuttles that went to space, and there's still... I'll show you a picture after. And there's a rocket as well, like a straight rocket, and they're both just there, and they've been there for years, and it's like abandoned, but it's military security, and some of our mates...
As in, you will get shot.
As in, you end up in prison. Someone actually got caught the other week. So there's a bloke that lives there, and he's charging $5,000 per person to sneak you in. So these 2 lads that Jamie knows paid it, snuck in and got caught. But they had a sponsorship for them. Have you seen them new little cameras? Them circle,
yeah,
like spy cameras. They had a sponsorship, and he had one on him. So when they searched him, they didn't take the camera off him. So he actually released footage in the jail while he was there. They got released like 36 hours later and fined, but yeah,
accidentally got the best footage as well.
Footage, but he didn't have any footage of the shuttle, I don't think, because they didn't make it to it. But that's probably at the moment that Japan red zone where the bombs are on. No, the power plant.
Yeah.
And
Area 51.
Obviously, I'd love to go Area 51, but you just ain't getting around. You need fobs. You just ain't getting in anywhere, are you? Because it's still hot.
It's not like old school like that EastEnders one where it's like, oh, just turn the latch and just get in. And
the code's written on the door.
Key under the rock.
But and then obviously Chernobyl, Pripyat, which I'm actually in the plan. I'm hopefully going this year because I was meant to go before the conflict kicked off, and I was talking to someone, and then obviously it kicked off. They took over Pripyat and Chernobyl, but now it's back.
It's open.
Yeah, it's back open again now. So, but they do tours, but I don't want to do the tour. I want to do the 5 days.
Rugged.
Yeah, you have to strip off to get through the river, and then you got a day and a half trek to get into Pripyat, and then you spend 2 days or a day and a half in there the night, and then the 2 day and a half trip back. But I said to my Jamie, I was like, if we go, apparently if you get caught, you only get fined the equivalent of £60, and I was like, well, fuck the trip back. Let's just get caught at the end, and they'll drop us back. It's like a £60 taxi. I was like, it's a 2-day trek. So, and it will make good footage as well. But it's that ego thing that you want to get caught. So that should be fun. But other than that, yeah, anything that sparks your interest.
Brilliant.
We're hitting them.
Well, good luck with the bike ride.
Yeah.
Nice one.
Actually, Mr Airborne sorts out your buns after.
I know,
Gets the cream on.
Yeah, put the link on for people to download.
Yeah.
Nice
Yeah.
one. Appreciate it.
Appreciate you coming on. Thank you very much.
Nice one. Just can I quickly just mention I'm going with Will's Explores as well. No, Will, sorry. That's he jumps on at every charity. So the people, it's always me, Abs and Wills that do the charities together. So I just want to mention it. If that's what
Perfect, man.
Also, as well, we do have an after party at the finish line at the Square Peg in
Wetherspoons.
Wetherspoons. So being Birmingham,
Yeah.
obviously anyone that wants to support, Sunday the 20th of July, he aims to be back at the finish line outside of Birmingham Children's Hospital. They've allowed us to have the finish line there.
Yeah, so
And
they're
then
doing like the finish line there, and then we're moving the. Yeah,
Straight over
absolutely.
to Wetherspoons.
Well,
We'll put the
forget that I
tag
even
number
done
on.
it at Wetherspoons.
Meet you there.
Yes, and
I don't think you got a break in there.
No.
Oh, brilliant. Thanks so much for your time.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Cheers.